everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Anna Maria and I will take you through some myths, legends and folklore. And in today's episode I will talk about Gruvrået, who is the keeper of the mines, and Sjörået, who is the keeper of the waters. Gruvrået, or as she is also called these names, is a being from the Nordic folklore, and she is the keeper of the mines, where gruv or gruva means mines and rå is keeper, so keeper of the mines. She is related to Skogsrået, or the holder that I talked about in a previous episode. But unlike Skogsrået, Gruvrået is not a seductive being. Gruvrået is said to be very well dressed and look very elegant. But she could also shapeshift, usually into a bat, but also to other animals. So if you were down a mine or a cave, you could not kill any animals because it could be her or her pets that you were killing. There is also a male version of this being called Gruvgubbe or Malmgubbe. He was also very well dressed, but could also look like an old man. Gruvrået usually showed herself where you could find ore. She could help you find the ore, but she could also make sure that you never remember where it was. She also had different clothes for different occasions. If an accident were about to happen and she wore white, that meant it wouldn't be that bad. But if she wore black, that meant someone was going to die. Gruvrået usually showed up in time to warn the miners if an accident were about to happen. This is because she wanted to keep the mines safe, but she also wanted to keep the miners safe. The ones that were good to her, that is. She liked order, so the miners usually cleaned up after themselves and didn't swear around her. They also treated her very nicely, and this is because if you didn't do that, she would cause accidents to harm you. Sjörået, or as she is also called these names, was the keeper of the waters, where sjö means lake or water, and rå is keeper, keeper of the waters. She has many similarities to the water goddess Ran from Norse mythology. She is also connected to the holder and Gruvrået. She had very long hair that she was seen combing often. She was a beautiful being. Sometimes she was naked and sometimes she had a thin dress on. Sjörået was a seductive being and showed herself mostly to men. She also was connected to animals like the fish in the sea or cattle, so if you saw cattle by the coast, they usually belonged to her. She was also a sign of the weather. If you saw her hanging laundry by the sea, then it was going to be bad weather. If you shared a meal with her, she would give you good luck in fishing. You could also scare her away with anything with metal in it. Now this is a case of death by a folklore-related being. There are very few cases in Sweden that are based on folklore, but this is one of them. It was a man called Peter Jönsson that was executed in 1640 for sleeping with Sjörået. He said that he had summoned her to get good luck in hunting and fishing, and in exchange she wanted to sleep with him and he could never sleep with his wife again. When he came home, he told his wife this story, and she said that he had to go to the authorities. Peter was tried in court and then executed. There is a similar story from 1691 where a man called Sven Andersson slept with a bergsrå, keeper of the mountains, and he was also sentenced to death that year. Other minor keepers could be Skeppsrået, the keeper of ships. They made sure that the crew and the ship were safe as long as they were nice and respectful towards them. Sjörået is described as a woman sometimes and sometimes like a gnome-like being. Some gnomes and nature spirits are counted in as keepers because they are protective over the animals and the nature. And that was all for this episode. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe, and don't forget the notifications, and I will see you in the next episode.